What's going on, beautiful people? I am going to give you a list of things that apparently black people cannot do in America. Have a barbecue at a park. Ask a police officer for a supervisor if you incorrectly understand some information on a ticket. Ask a police officer for a supervisor if you have a dispute with some waitress at a Waffle House. Sit in a Starbucks. Push your baby in a stroller on a running trail. Fall asleep on a college campus where you're paying tuition. Now, these few things sound utterly fucking ridiculous. It's not a surprise. They are. The thing about this shit is that you have people in this world that will justify the police being called on those individuals, or those individuals being assaulted by police. You wonder why certain people, black people, don't feel safe when police officers are around, or they don't feel comfortable when law enforcement is around, or they just outright do not care for law enforcement personnel. I just want you to know that I am in a third world country. A country that used to have black people as slaves. I do not speak the language of many of the natives of this country. And in the few minutes that I've been recording this video, I walked by at least 5 people armed with either a pistol or a semi-automatic rifle. Tell me, why is it that when I go home to the United States of America, the country that I served for 11 years, 2 months, and 7 days, that I will not travel anywhere that I cannot legally possess, at least in my vehicle, 2 firearms? Tell me why in this third world country, where I am literally surrounded by people within a 15-mile radius that would very much like to kill me, why my only concerns here are getting an adequate internet signal and staying my happy ass away from mosquitoes. People love America so much that they do not want to point out when America has a problem, especially if that problem is being reiterated by people that look like me. You will hear a lot about black on black crime. What you won't hear about is the people that are saying that black on black crime is inappropriate. The people that are setting up organizations to try to stop gang and gun violence. And the people that are also setting up organizations to get drugs and crime out of those inner city areas. You won't hear about that. They do exist, by the way. If you were to bring up the Caucasian male that shoots up a school, all of a sudden you're probably racist. I, as a black person, am less concerned with this vehicle that drove up behind me as I'm walking than I would be if I was in the United States and someone who is sworn to uphold the law was to drive up behind my car. Simply because I'm a fairly young man and I drive a luxury vehicle. I was pulled over once on I-95. I had 2 rifles and a pistol in a luxury XUV that I was driving. I was dressed fairly nice, and I had more than $1,000 cash on me. Obviously, nothing happened because I'm still here to tell the story. I ended up getting a ticket. However, if I had ended up dead, my body splattered all over the news, videos of me getting shot to shit all over YouTube, I can guarantee that somebody would have suggested that I was selling drugs. That somebody would have suggested that maybe I was trying to sell my guns. That somebody would have suggested that I was doing something wrong, or I should have just complied. You would think people would get tired of saying this crap because you've watched videos of people in compliance get fucked up anyway. What I think is odd is that you want to talk about black on black crime, but that's all you want to do is talk about it. But when little Johnny shoots up a school, you want to do one of several things. Laws get created or changed. People think that their Second Amendment rights are gonna fucking disappear. They're freaking the fuck out. Or you have the group of people that do this. Shut up, you don't know no better. These people will tell their children that are telling them, hey, I don't want to get shot in second period, that they don't know shit. It's so much easier to tell somebody that they don't know something when you're not the person that has to go through it. There was recently another school shooting. 80 fucking degree weather. This individual was able to come onto the school campus wearing a full fucking trench coat. Didn't alert anyone until he started taking shots at people and killed some people. Before that, a Caucasian female was able to strap her rifle to her back and pose for a picture on her college campus. She received a police escort. Can you tell me how that makes sense when the first example was clearly out of place, but no one called the police? But yet another example of students attending a college walkthrough get the police called on them because they look suspicious. Can you explain that to me? Can you explain how a young lady can strap a rifle to her back, pose for a picture, and no one freaks the fuck out? Can you explain to me why a Hispanic man can go in a convenience store, pay for his merchandise, go to walk out with his merchandise, and an off-duty police officer pulls and cocks his weapon on this gentleman because he thought the gentleman stole a pack of fucking Mentos, the fresh maker? Bruh, you was finna kill somebody over an item that cost maybe $1. I hear people say all the time, don't resist arrest. Don't run. Just comply. Do this thing or do that thing. What I find humorous is resisting arrest should not end up with you being dead. It should end up with you being charged. So, man, running from police should not end up with you being dead. It should end up with you being charged. Running your mouth off at the police shouldn't end up with you being dead. Disorderly conduct, it could end up with you being charged. But you have people that will say you shouldn't have did A, B, or C when the result was an extreme overreaction. Mind you, I am in a third world country. A country that used to have slaves. And my biggest concern is the internet speed and the mosquitoes. That's it.